Alright, let's see how this works. Kind of looks like the format, doesn't it? Alright, let me do it that way. I wonder if it'll let you flip the camera around. See if anybody comes in here. What's up, Doc? I hope you can hear me. This is on a tablet, as my computer is having a come apart. This is the current status of my computer. What's up, Steven? So this is going to be a little weird for everybody because this is on my tablet. I think I have a hard drive that's getting ready to fail. It's doing a test on the first drive, which is the oldest one. So I had a feeling that it was going to happen sooner or later. It's one of the computers that I started my business with. I've had this thing. I think I got it in 2011, something like that. So it's 12 years old. And it's got one of the original hard drives in it. I added 2 hard drives to it to do a data stripe, but I think it may be just about done. I have a portable hard drive coming to try to back up my videos on there, because I have a feeling I may not get lucky and I may lose my videos for YouTube, which is going to suck. But what's up, Jerry? I have not done this on on my tablet before, so it's going to be a little weird for everybody. I almost think the camera on this dude's better than my little hoopty on top of my monitor. But you get a good ceiling shot anyway. The cats have found a leaf or something like that. They're going to town over there. Or at least the old one is. Ooh, I made it to 20%. So, yeah, Dell's got this cool thing on an Optiplex. I'll just flip around and show you. Anyway, so they've got diagnostic LEDs on the front of it, on the front of this old machine. They're not lit up now, but there's like get my finger where you can see it. There's a 1, 2, 3, and a 4 right there, and it helps diagnose it. I did get my mop cut, Stephen. Got a few of them cut. So anyway, when this thing was lit up, There, focused a little bit. This is the one I got, which is the 1, 2, and the 3, and then the power button was blue. It just says another failure has occurred. And then, of course, they give you what it says could be wrong. Hey, Mike. So, and when I get the error code, it basically says alert, hard drive not found. I'm like, fantastic. So that's the other reason why I haven't posted any videos either, because it started when I was trying to, the program that I use is called VideoPad. It's put out by NCH Software. And what it does is it takes the video. I don't know. This is, ever since I got the latest update for this software, I've had issues with it. And then it started working, but then I'm in this same boat, and I'm wondering if this hard drive has been failing for a while, and it just finally showed its ugly head. But the problem is, if one of these drives goes down out of the 3, then I'm just kind of hosed. But it started when I was trying to convert the file back into something that YouTube can use, because it uses its own format. In other words, you take the video off of what you took, which is usually like an MP4 format, if you guys know anything about the formats of files and that kind of stuff. And it converts it into its own format that it can use. And then you do all your editing, and then you save it. You have to convert it back to a format that, like an MP4 format that YouTube can use. So in the process of doing that conversion, that's when it froze up and it said, oh, no, we're not doing that today. Yeah, right. So, yeah, that's just how it is. But let me get this somewhere here. I'll let the software that Dell has do its thing and see if it finds this hard drive bad. I'll run it on all 3 of them. It's only at 20%, so it's taking its own sweet time. I know that I've got a Western Digital drive somewhere. Mike, I don't know what splice is, so apparently I haven't tried it. And Doc, I've watched Tucker here and there. He's been on it. I probably missed something that you're referring to, but I know there's been a lot of stuff that's been popping up, and things have been happening up there here recently. I have not seen anything on Project Veritas, not lately anyway, but I know that they were exposing a whole bunch of stuff on it, on what was going on. And all I can say is, y'all, we're kind of in bad shape in that category. Good. I think that was one of the stories that I was going to watch. Sorry, I'm trying to get the screen somewhere here It's a little more centralized. There was an article that I guess he did about, I think Glenn Beck did it, but they were talking about Pfizer. Some employee of Pfizer had a meltdown or something. Oh, that sucks, Doc. I'm sorry to hear that. I keep seeing these freaking bumper stickers on the back. I saw this one somebody put on their back window. Unvaxxed sperm, $3,600 a load. I laughed. Yeah. So how about this story? Did you hear the story about the gal that was in, I guess she's from Canada. Glenn Beck found the story on it, but of course the media doesn't give much attention to it. But this gal that was in Canada, I guess, had been vaccinated and she got COVID. And she'd already had an underlying lung disease. And anyway, she had got through it, tested negative for COVID, but then she started showing symptoms again of the same thing. And so she went back to the hospital, and after 20 hours in the ER, they finally decided to admit her. And she was hungry, so she asked for something to eat, and they told her that they didn't have anything. And so this went on for a little bit. She decided to get up and go to the food court to get something to eat. And on her way back from the food court, she got winded and had to sit down and catch her breath. And to breathe, she took her mask off. And I guess security seen it, and they were on her like stink on shit. And they pretty much manhandled this gal, and I guess she was in her 70s or something like that. Just brutal and no regards for it. Well, at any rate, she went into cardiac arrest, and they show her just kind of thrown on this cart, wheeling her down the hallway on this cart with her legs hanging off. Needless to say, this gal died from it. And her daughter is just living, and she has to go through the procedures, as the Canadian government, I guess, is different than ours. And she's going to sue the pants off of them, I know, but it all stemmed because she took her mask off because she couldn't breathe. And that was just the end of her. That's the biggest BS that I've ever heard, and it makes me sick. Yeah, exactly. What are you guys writing here? Drove past cops doing a drug bust, turning a car. Oh boy. Doc. Oh, that's funny. Sound vaxxed, waxed, and ready to climax. Crashed in a house here in New Jersey, and the driver had a stroke. Surprised she was triple jabbed. Oh boy. They showed, there was a video that was just out the other day that I guess this dude didn't even have a clue. This up in Minnesota, I think it was. or Montana, one of the two. But the guy had a heart attack while he was driving and didn't realize it. But it was a medical issue, and I don't know that it was anything to do with the vaccination or anything like that. But I guess he run into a couple people and all sorts of, just reminds me, what the real story is on a lot of that stuff. Oh, that's crazy. Crazy world we're in. Yeah, and now the truth is starting to come out about that stuff too. All the reports and everything else that, all these conspiracy theorists have been saying all along have actually turned out to be true. And the people that have been covering it up for so long are feeling the pressure. They will do what they can to smear somebody else to keep their butt out of a sling, And then there's this other one that's been going around that some scientists think in 10 years that the Earth is going to completely stop rotating or something like that, or start going in reverse. I wonder if that means time goes in reverse too. We just get younger. Yeah, I don't think so. Now we're up to 30% on this drive. I need to find that Western Digital disc that I've got. Let it run its test. That's funny. Oh, good Lord. And I know I'm going to get ripped because I probably didn't set something button right on this thing. That you can't see the live chat replay. And for that, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm on my tablet, so I'm not sure exactly how this, how the tablet works different from the computer, for sure. I mean, the screen's quite a bit different. So, if you come back and watch at a later time and can't see a live chat replay, I apologize. But anyway, what did it just do? Nothing, I guess. Mysterious fire, yeah. Oh, yeah. Doc, there was a guy, my wife was with me, and we were driving. This guy was in this S10, had the window cracked, a mask on, wearing gloves inside his truck, and there was just him. How we got a laugh out of that. Worked with a chisel. Oh, yeah. Apparently it didn't work to your liking, so the chisel won, huh? That's funny. I had to see if I could find that hard drive. Or that disk. You know, I don't have to sit here. You go with me. Let's go in the office. That's where I think it's going to be. I forgot, since I'm on a tablet, I'm portable. Hang on, I know it's dark. I'm still here. Right. All right. Let's see what's up here in this thing. I'll set you down right there. Maybe, if it'll sit there. Tall from that angle. No, I'm not that tall. I'm just a short fart. Office 2000. Operating system. IntelliPoint. Norton Nero. I know I've got a storage or a disk. Help me watch it somewhere. Don't judge my office, it's a mess. Eventually I'm going to be putting the editing computer in here somewhere. But it's my old laptop, and I don't think there's anything in there. All you get to do is stare at the light, I'm sorry. Get you out of the direct light. Get some other stuff up here. Put you in the cage there for a minute. I know I still got one of those discs somewhere. Right where I belong. That's funny. I still got an awry helmet disc. Hey, there you go. There's Avenged Sevenfold. Of course, I'm finding about everything but that disc. I know I've got it somewhere. It was a stone tablet. Ah, that's funny, Mike. Now I get it. That's pretty funny. Stone tablet. Har, 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 har. What do we got in here? It says computer software. There's a printer CD. router software. Got there. Printer software. Nothing I can use there. Well, crap. Right? I don't know about high technology, Jerry, but I am kind of a nerd at heart. Here. There's my editing PC that I'm building. And it still sits there because it doesn't want to stay powered up. That's one I put together. Just don't know what I did with that. I don't know what I did with that drive. Oh, what is this? But y'all never seen one of these. I'll get it out and I'll show you. Check this dude out. This is, what do they call this thing? It was Dell's first attempt at a microcomputer. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. Inspiron Mini. It's all the bigger it is. Yes, it still works too. Needs a battery though. I don't think it's in the file cabinet. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That looks promising. You got a crank laying on your dining room carpet, huh, Jerry? That's pretty funny. These are all games. It looks like games. Huh. What if I bet I can download that. Maybe what I'll have to do. bet you I'm going to have to download it. Well, it was a nice thought anyway. Okay, I'll catch up on what you're doing here. Polish my crankshaft and yeah. Oh yeah? What you gonna make your way down here for, Doc? If so, we'll have to try to meet up. Find some way to get this thing to sit still. I guess it's just gonna have to be that way. Oh Lord, you're way south of me in Largo. There is a big old bottle of Jack Daniels up there. Still haven't cracked it open. I think there's another one up there too. Yep, there's the other one. Right there. Yeah, Doc, you gotta get down there and see her. The wife was trying to get me to go up and see Mom, and I told her, it says, right now I just can't afford it. I mean, it's just the way everything costs. Every time we go up there, it's between $600 and $1,000. And she goes, well, why don't you just fly up there for a couple of days? And I was like, well, that's really going to be expensive. And then on top of that, I think I'm on a no-fly list because of the cane I raised the last time I was in there. I got kicked off of one flight in Kansas City because I refused to wear my mask. I couldn't breathe. And this dumb gal somehow managed to get me off of the plane. And then I was pissed. It was just a bad deal all the way around. Probably all on the list. Yeah, could very well be. But I don't like to fly anyway. I never have. I mean, granted, yeah, I know it gets you to where you're gonna go quite a bit faster, but I'm just not one of those people that likes to fly. I don't like airports. I don't like being in that small tube. Doc, they're doing exactly that, and people are falling for it. I really don't feel like people have caught on to how they're aiming everything to try to take away our freedoms and our rights. So, I don't know what's going to happen. It's not something that we can control, I can tell you that. I mean, it may come down to that, but I know with this recent move for this failed foreign policy that Brandon's come up with, I have a feeling it's going to push us into World War III. We definitely don't need that. But I agree. I agree, Doc. Definitely get close to the Lord, or whatever God you pray to, or if you even pray, you need to find Him. If not, this will give you the strength to get through it. I know I seen that. I did. I seen part of it. I seen the replay. I was just about the time I was getting to get back in to watch it, the computer froze up again, and so here I am. But yeah, he. Yeah. The biggest thing I worry about is I worry about my mom. She's the only immediate family I have left, and she's up there by herself. And there's not a chance in hell I can get my wife to go back up there with me. She just won't do it. Which, I think that's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. She will not come to Florida. Liberty, the great old state of Missouri, is her home, and she will not go. Plus, her sisters, excuse me, her sisters are still up there. And let's see, her brother is the youngest. He lives in Phoenix. Then Aunt Pat is the oldest. I think it goes Aunt Pat, Aunt Betty, my mom, and then Uncle Terry. Welcome back, Mike. So she won't get far away from her sisters. And again, I know if something happens to one of those, I'm going to be going up there again. It's the way it is. It always gets tough around November because that's when I lost Dad, and is actually, I don't remember the exact day. It was shortly after Thanksgiving. I think it was the 29th to the 30th. But it's hard to believe he's been gone 4 years already. Man, I miss him. I mean, yeah, I know he's here in spirit, but it's different when he's not physically in front of you. Because some days you just really like to talk to him. And, lost sister too. She was, and it's been 10 years, I think, since Jennifer's been gone. You know, as a guy, you want to be able to leave a legacy, something for to carry on the family, and it pretty much ends with me. At least on my immediate family, because there's nobody else, and we never had any kids, and my sister and I, neither one could have kids. So, yeah, that just kind of sucks, because I mean, growing up, I always wanted to be a dad, and I just never got that chance. I've been a dad to some great four-legged furry friends, for sure. Got 3 of them over there crashed. Buster, my dog, that dude is so smart. So I'm sitting over there playing on the computer. He comes back here and he growls at me. He looks at me and wags his tail and he growls at me. I was like, they just came in from outside. They'd just been out and potting. So he comes over and he growls at me, looks and wags his tail, and I'm like trying to figure out what he wants. And then I happen to look over the back of the couch. That's because Sugar is on the couch along with Yoda the cat, and there's no spot for Buster to get up there on the couch. So he's mad that he can't get his corner spot on the couch. So he comes up and growls at me and tells me, "Dad, do something about this. I want a spot on the couch." Anyway, so she gets down and he made a beeline for that corner of the couch. Cracked me up. You know, it's funny how you can understand them and they can understand you in some way, shape, or form. Brings a smile to my face every time I come in the door, and they're just so happy to see me. Just give me all sorts of kisses. The tails never stop wagging. That's just great. I love it. But hardest thing is when you have to let them cross that rainbow bridge. I tell this one story because it's something you just never forget. And that's when we lost one of our horses here recently. It's been 2 or 3 years now. I think 2 years ago. Anyway, we had a dapple gray Peruvian Pasofino horse, Spanish horse. It has to do with the way they gait, which gait's basically trotting. Peruvian Pasofinos, basically they paddle with their front legs. And it's really cool to hear them go across the soundboard, which is basically a long board that's in an arena that they've got microphones on it, and you can hear how they're gaiting or galloping, trotting. Basically, they're not galloping, but they're trotting. Anyway, something that's common with gray horses is they can get, excuse my butt, they can get what they call gray melanoma cancer. And the thing that turned us on to it was the fact that he was having trouble pooping. And it was always kind of dark. And so the vet come out and checked, and sure enough, he had, tarry stuff inside there, and there wasn't much in. He was just having trouble pooping. He was a happy guy. I mean, he still was still was chipper and everything. He's just having trouble pooping. But when she told us that, it was like, oh, this sucks. Because we know it's no life for him. I mean, we could give him some injections and make him comfortable, but it wasn't going to be any life for him. So we decided to let him cross the Rainbow Bridge. And when they did that, and of course they tranquilize him first, let him lay down, and then they'll put the injection in, which is a lot for a horse. But when he took his last breath, there was dead silence outside. We were outside, obviously, just out in the yard. But I mean, there was no cars that went by, no airplanes in the sky, no birds chirping, no critters making noise, nothing. It was absolutely silent, and this lasted for about 15 seconds. And then everything was back to normal. That was the coolest thing I'd ever experienced in my life. Like I said, it's something you'll never forget. Because it's like you could tell that his soul was there, and then he left, and once he left, everything was hunky-dory. It's really cool. Really cool. But anywho, yeah, isn't it cool? They're neat. See, we still have a Pasofino too. He's an ornery shit. His name's Rosario, but he's the last of the horses that we've got. And Dan and I, we've talked about maybe getting another one for him so he's not so lonely. And we're like, no, because once Rosario's done, we're done with horses. And at that time, we'll probably move again. I don't know. Depends. Yeah, that was the main reason why my mom-in-law got that horse, is because the Peruvian Pasofinos are so smooth when they gait. That's just their nature. It's really cool, and she loved riding him just for the fact he was so smooth. They're not a big horse. Horses are measured in hands. He was like 14 or 15 hands, something like that. Well, shoot, Mike, we may need them anyway, since they seem to be, cutting off our food supply too. Oh, don't mind that paint dealer behind. We were testing colors. I said I didn't want any more grays. Okay, here's an opinion for you guys. Ooh, that was a big contrast color change. Do you like neutral colors and paints in a house, like grays and blacks and whites and that kind of stuff? Or do you like warm colors like tans and reds and that kind of stuff? What's your thought on paint colors on an interior of a house? Mine is more towards the warm colors. I like browns and reds and blue. And of course, my office was yellow. We painted the other guest bedroom a rose color, which turned out absolutely beautiful in there. It's so comforting and peaceful in that room. And our room was painted. We painted it blue. It was like a seafoam green, but out here everything's white and gray, and I just can't stand it. One of these days I'm gonna paint it. I just haven't got there yet. Yeah, dark sandstone colors, that kind of stuff. I mean, to me, the tans and that kind of stuff, like I like real woodwork. You can see, that's kind of fake stuff behind us. That wood, whatever you want to call it, but I like I like real woodwork. This table, for instance, I flip you around. This table this was mom-in-law's table. Now, granted, it needs to be sanded and refinished, which I might do that one of these days. But I like the grains, to be able to see the grains that the stain pulls out and that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's real wood. Well, see, that's what I was saying on the reds. See, like this wall up here, where the sports pictures are. I would love to paint that red, some sort of red in the kitchen, and then the countertops, make those like a black marble or something like that, and then maybe hang some lights from the ceiling there. I think that would look good. Did I see what, Doc? Poop brown. You can go too dark on the brown. I'm talking like tans and kind of like a mocha color, that kind of stuff. Beige. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen a whole bunch about that. It's just kind of crazy. The Lord made a man and a woman. That's it. That's You're either a man or a woman. That's all there is to it. I don't care what you think you are. You're either a man or a woman, and that's how it ought to be addressed. And I feel I think that the parents should be ashamed for letting for trying to change the kids at a young age. You know, kids at a young age can be influenced very easily. And if you tell that kid, you even know he's a boy, you tell that kid that he's a girl, he's going to think he's a girl. And he's going to find out, oh, well, I don't have the genitalia to be a girl or anything like that. No, boys should be boys, girls should be girls. That's just my thought. Doc, I totally agree. and not Adam and Steve. Jerry, up north, when I lived up in Missouri, it was not uncommon for people to be painting outside on a ladder. Hell, my dad did it several times on our house. Neighbors used to do it. It's just part of it. Then they got to the point where they pay somebody to do it, which I'm almost to that point where I'm about ready to pay somebody to paint the house because it's about due. Although I've got a nice paint sprayer, I could paint the house. I'd have to buy some big old plastic sheeting to cover the cars up so they don't get freaking paint all over them. Because even though it's an airless paint sprayer, it's a commercial airless paint sprayer. They still end up tending to splatter. But yeah, the house is due to be painted. I might try to get a few more years out of it, but yeah, well, I can't exactly change the siding on my house, Mike. Because my house has got stucco on the outside, so it's not easily changed. A lot of the houses down here in Florida are concrete block. I don't know if they do that for a reason. I'm sure it's because wind load. Jerry, I don't think it's the fact that home care is not as popular. I don't think this generation knows how. That's my thought on it. I mean, a lot of things have changed. The younger generation doesn't know how to do a lot of that stuff. You know, it cracks me up that people are going after I don't know, these kids don't want to learn a skill. They don't seem to want to learn a skill. They'd rather, do something that doesn't require any effort and actually have to work for it, it's a good reason why there's not a lot of young kids getting in the automotive industry because they figured out that how expensive it is to do it. You got to buy your own tools. You got to work in crappy conditions on shit that burns your hands, that you end up scraping knuckles, getting full of oil. You might take a shower in transmission or transmission fluid or antifreeze, and might get your feelings hurt a couple of times doing something when it doesn't go right. That kind of stuff. Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with being a tournament fisher. I mean, you could make pretty good money out of it, but I don't know. Oh, shoot. Well, kids, I think I'm gonna cut it off for tonight. I'm getting kind of tired. And that I need to go fart with that stupid computer. And well, it's apparently smarter than I am. Yep, I agree to that statement, Doc. 100%, 110%. So I want to bid you all a good night. I want to appreciate you guys stopping in and saying hey and gabbing. I would agree with that statement, Doc. God bless and pray for everybody around. Take care of your loved ones, the ones that you still have, and make sure to call them, text them, go over and see them in person, give them big hugs, because you don't know when you're going to lose them. So, y'all take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless you, and God bless America. Have a good night. Once I figure out how to get out of this.